Oh yeah, you do. So you took that and turned it into like a story, into a character. Like the person is not named; they're a whole
Right.
storyline.
Right.
So you were able to do that in a smart way. So it's not like, oh, he just jumped out the window and, oh, you this, and it's like, oh,
Right. I love music. I love rap. I love the battling. Like, I'm not J. Cole. I'm not one of these people that, or what the fuck Jay-Z said, he doesn't think it's necessary for the coach. Like, come on. You wouldn't say that with, well, maybe you did say that after Nas dropped Ether on your ass.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like when you new to it and you fresh, everything's fresh. It's like, yeah, I want to engage. I want to spar like my heroes, like Eminem, like Tupac, like Biggie, like LL Cool J with Jack the Ripper. Like, I want to engage. I don't want it to go further than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to go into somebody getting killed. But, Kendrick and Drake, to me, that's dope. I love battle rap. Daylight, one of my favorite battle rappers of all time. Loaded Lux. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the beauty of rap, is to be able to use your words, because a lot of people get killed for a lot less. So if you can formalize, what your emotions into words versus going, knocking on somebody's door or waiting for them to come out their house, crawling up from under their car and letting off shots. If you can take that approach, that's a better approach than killing somebody or hurting somebody. And so I appreciate that in the battle rap culture.
Okay. And so what advice would you give for that? Because in the music industry, entertainment, you're gonna have people that might do something behind your back, or they feel away, they jump out the window, you get betrayed.
Right.
So how do you navigate?
Well, I would say, to anybody out there that, is doing rap or hip hop music or any form of that nature, there is no rules to it, right? So if you speak on somebody's kids, you speak on somebody's whatever, there is no rules to it. It's rap. It's spoken word. How you feel is what you feel. Obviously, wars are started, right? They say the power of death is in the life of the tongue. And anybody that steps into it is kind of like if you're stepping into being a criminal, right? If you're stepping into being a criminal, you know what comes with that life. I can go to jail, I can be killed, right? If you go into rap, if you go into a form of self-expression, it is the same thing. What did John F. Kennedy get assassinated for? What did Martin Luther King get assassinated for? The list goes on of people that got killed. Donald Trump, somebody that almost got killed. Who just got killed? What was that politician that got killed? What, last year? Can't think of his name. But power of death is in the mouth of the tongue. So there is no rules, but there are consequences. And depending on who you go up against, hey, you may meet somebody that ain't trying to take it there. Like for me, when he alluded to my dead daughter, a part of me wanted to, well, I'm a rap. I know where you live. Let's just go wait for him. Like that's what I was thinking. And then I was like, nah, I'm not going, I'm above that. My mom, rest her soul, wouldn't want me to do no shit like that. It's a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to write you in as a character named Judas. And I'm going to talk to Judas the whole time. And if the shoe fits, wear that shit.
I mean, that is absolutely facts, because people love to throw the first stone, but then the person coming after me, they want to battle. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be quiet and just disappear now. But you thought you was that guy. But yeah, so I'm glad you learned that lesson now versus, mainstream. And then, so now you know how to navigate and operate. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm ready for battle. So somebody else come after me.
And just like I say, like, I've said things, I have, records where I've talked about certain celebrities and people and different things like that. So, you say what you say and somebody could say something back. You're putting yourself out there. You take those emotions and then you keep it on that level playing field. Okay, you said something on wax, I'm going to say something on wax, and you keep it there. Now, if that person, if the person gets upset and wants to physically harm you and tries to, they lost. They lost. All right, if the person takes it there and wants to kill you or do something to you because you said words, you lost.